So welcome class again, and we are going to tackle question 5 of the 2022 paper, Employee Resourcing Review, the revised syllabus. So question 5, explain the factors that may hinder geographical global mobility of labor. Geographical global mobility of labor. Geographical global mobility of labor means the human resource, the manpower, people moving from one place to another. That is the geographical movement, mobility. Mobility is movement. People moving from one place to another globally. For example, I'm a Kenyan, going to work in Nigeria, a Nigerian going to work in Egypt, an Egyptian going to work in Asia, Asia going to work in Korea, Korea going to work in Kuwait, Kuwait going to work in, like Australia. That is the global mobility of labor. So what are some of the factors that may hinder geographical global mobility of labor, that free movement of labor from one place to another? Number one, the laws. The laws might not be so much promoting or the geographical mobility of labor. We have laws on expatriates, and some of them might be hindering this free movement of labor. They might be punitive. Some countries have punitive laws to protect their industries. So laws might be a big hindrance to geographical mobility of labor. Then we also have climatic conditions. For example, there are places where it's fully winter. There are places where it's always summer, and some people might not do well in those areas. So it's a key factor. Of course, we have cultural and social issues like the lifestyle. So some people are so much tied to their lifestyle, their way of doing things, that they will not possibly think of moving to other places where they are going to start or have a change of lifestyle altogether. So that becomes a hindering factor when it comes to global mobility of labor. Those who are so used to their lifestyle and ways of living, the norms, the taboos, the beliefs, And perhaps I can also talk about the family ties. There are so many people who may not be willing to move to other countries just because they are leaving their family behind. And some of these countries may not allow you to go at first, or even with your family. So the fact that you may not be allowed to go with your family may simply make this factor not possible, this issue of global mobility of labor. So climatic conditions, cultural and social issues, of course the differences in education system, sometimes, the interpretation of the results and the differences in education system in some countries might also be a big factor that might hinder this free movement of people. Then we also have the security condition. Like there are countries which, of course, they are unstable politically. Like we talk about, I mentioned some. Like now there's a war between Israel and Palestine. There's a war between down there, Haiti. There's where it has never been stable. So such like, let me not continue mentioning, but security status might also be an issue that might hinder the global mobility of labor. Then we also have the issue of inadequate information on availability of jobs. So people possibly are looking for these jobs, but they don't have the information that you have those vacancies. So that could be a factor that hinders geographical global mobility of labor. Otherwise, if they would have the information, possibly they will just have applied. But because they don't have the information, they may not be able to apply, and so it will not be possible. Then we also talk about the relocation costs. relocation costs or movement costs. Movement costs, it's very expensive to move, to process the visa, to move around. No, it involves flights, and some of these people may not be able or in a position to, to afford that cost. Of course, we have things like language barriers. Like you go to some countries where they don't speak English, they speak a different language. You only understand English, so that blend and basically flowing and fitting into their system becomes an issue. And so many people might not think of that global mobility of labor if they have that language barrier. These are quite a number of points. Just pick any 5 and we'll be good to go. Part B of the question: as a human resource manager of Kwanza Company Limited, assess the content of a talent management plan. Content of a talent management plan. Talent management plan, we are talking about the employees in the organization. And we are talking about the skill set that these employees are endowed with. So, what are some of the contents of a talent management plan? It all starts at this job description level. Job description. What are the roles and responsibilities? And after we have identified the roles and the responsibilities, the job specification. What are the qualities of the person who can best tackle this person? That is where the whole journey is. Wrongful identification of this will lead to wrong identification of this and will lead to wrong recruitment, where I reach out on the wrong people. Then it will lead to wrong selection. And then the onboarding process will not be good. Onboarding is where you try to let the person, to fit the person into the system, into the culture of the organization. We talk about induction, we talk about placement, we talk about orientation. All these are the onboarding processes. Or we talk about training and development. All these are things that they work hand in hand. And so when we talk about you as a human resource manager who wants to assess the content of a talent management plan, the talent management plan will start all the way before even sourcing. It will start at the planning stage. Who is this person that you want? What characteristics should he have? Then at the time of recruitment, where would I best get these people? How should I advertise to get the right people? Because you can also advertise in a wrong platform and get the wrong people. How should I advertise to get the right people? What criteria should I use in selection so that I end up with purely the best? That should be in talent management plan, because you are now recruiting talent. You are recruiting the best person. If the process is bad, everything will backfire. So make sure you get the right person. How do you introduce this best person to the organization? The way you're going to induce him, to induct him in the organization will determine to a greater extent whether this person will be productive, will want to stay with the organization or not. So how do you go about that process? It should be in the talent management plan so that you get this person settled and comfortable. Then, how do you identify the skill set? How do you train this person to improve on his talents, what he already had? Training and development. Invest in training and development. This is something that we expect in a talent management plan. We expect performance measurement, so that you can know the gaps and work on filling these gaps through training and development, and possibly coaching and mentorship. So coaching, mentorship, these are things we expect here. Coaching and mentorship. We expect a lot of this when we talk about talent management plan, so that we always improve on the value of this person. We expect succession planning, career growth. These are things that will help us to retain that talent once we build it. Remember, here we were acquiring the talent. Here we are building on the talent. Here we want to retain the talent. How do you retain the talent? Have a very good succession plan. Have a very good career growth plan. Have very good working conditions. Have, of course, good compensation and remuneration. All these are some of the things. Otherwise, if you don't compensate well, somebody else will just come and pick your staff, whom you have invested for quite a long period of time to put him where he is. Just come and be picked. So to retain this talent, which should be part of the management plan, good compensation, good working conditions, talk of good relations within the organization. Those are some of the key ingredients, and they should be in that management plan. So we need to see the whole of all these things that I've just mentioned being very clear in this management plan. How are we going to, or how do we intend to ensure that we attract the best talent, we manage the best talent, we retain the best talent. Thank you. Yeah, that marks the end of that. All those are points. Make sure you explain them well. Let's meet in the next question.